But what we are really proud of is also how we are able to help the team to perform even better on the bikes.
Welcome to the Voice of Visma podcast, where the heartbeat of our community comes to life. Join us as we chat with Visma leaders and colleagues, sharing their stories, industry insights, and valuable career lessons.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Voice of Visma podcast. I'm your host Johan, and ahead of us we have a really exciting episode. Today I'm sitting down with Anne-Grethe Thomle Karlsen, who is our Director of Content and Sponsorship. We will be talking about our Team Visma Lease bike sponsorship. And for me, cycling is a complete new world, so this will be super interesting to dive deeper into. Super welcome to the Voice of Visma studio, Anne-Grethe.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, feeling good?
Yes, thank you. I do. Yeah.
Great to hear. Great to hear. For those of you, or for those of us who doesn't know you, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I can start with telling a little bit about my Visma story. I came into Visma many years ago through I think it was one of the first acquisitions in Visma, at least one of the first biggest ones. So when I came into Visma, I was responsible for the in-house advertising agency for many years. And later on, I got new positions as within the project management and brand manager. And later on, when we entered into the first sports sponsorship, I got responsible for that as well. And now I'm then in this position.
Yeah, cool.
And that's also what I like with Visma, the possibility to grow, to learn new things, and always get new challenges. So that's why I'm still here after all these years.
Yeah, nice to hear. And when did you start at Visma? Which year?
Many years ago.
Many years. Okay. Yeah, but you live
well, I feel so old when I start to say how many years it is, but I've had, last century. Yeah.
And you live here in Oslo?
I live just outside Oslo,
yeah.
Yes. So, and in my spare time, I like to be very active.
Mm-hmm.
And during winter time, you will probably find me cross-country skiing whenever or wherever it's possible. From the beginning of the season to long out. And during the summertime, I'm mostly at the seaside and doing different kind of activities. And
cycling?
No, I watch cycling. I love watching cycling, but I still haven't started to do much cycling myself.
Okay.
That's one of my personal goals for a longer term.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now I said it, so now I have to do it.
Yeah. Let's put it as a goal. Yeah. Our sponsorship with Visma Lease bike is super interesting, I believe. And we recently became the first title sponsor. Can you please tell us a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah. First of all, because it's been such a great success with the brand awareness and everything during these years. And when we entered the sponsorship back in 2019, it was a part of our strategy of increasing our footprint in Europe, in both new markets, but also existing markets, with building brand awareness. And with all the great results this team has managed to achieve over the years, and especially then last season, with winning both the three, or all the three Grand Classics, meaning then the Giro d'Italia, Tour de France and the La Vuelta, and also then winning the Tour de France for second time in a row. And all that brand exposure that gives us, it's a great value.
Definitely.
And it's also, we share a lot of the same values, and also the same, the same values as a team, with teamwork, innovation, and also the encouragement of being active. So by continue then the sponsorship, and also then stepping up as the first title sponsor, we will continue to gain all the brand value and also the internal pride and activation possibilities within the sponsorship. So we're really exciting and looking forward to for the coming years.
Nice to hear. And do you see a big difference from having the second name position to the first name position?
Of course, then from being the second to the first, our name is the first one in the name, and then Team Visma, Lease, and of course then with the logo on top. So in those sense, of course, it's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And can you describe a little bit what you think is the biggest value with our sponsorship together with Team Visma, Lease?
As I mentioned, of course, the brand value and the brand awareness is very important for us. And with all those millions of people watching, both on TV, but also in media, and a lot of people are then exposed for the jerseys and the images, even if they're not into cycling. So, of course, that's very important for us. And we measure also the brand exposure. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, during Tour de France last year, we could see that some of our websites had an increase of visitors of more than 20 times compared to the previous month.
Oh.
So we can see the differences.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yes. And also our blog articles, because we write blog articles about Team Visma, Lease, Visma, and business and things we have in common. Mm-hmm. And we also see that those blog articles have an increase in reading time during big events as well.
Cool.
And also, a fun fact is the Netflix series last year. Yeah. It's called Unchained. That's a documentary series of cycling, based on the same concept as the Formula 1 Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
And when that was launched last year in June, we also could see a peak in our on our visitors on our websites.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So now, then with the season 2 coming, we will also looking forward to see the results of that.
Nice. When is the season 2 coming?
June.
Yeah,
in June. Yeah.
We're looking forward to that. Yeah.
And another, of course, important part of this sponsorship is the internal pride and the employer branding part.
Of course.
And sponsoring one of the world's best cycling team and then seeing the Visma logo on the chest of the top riders in the world, that's a huge inspiration for a lot of our employees.
Yeah, nice.
And since we are in more than 30 countries, mm-hmm. With more than 15,000 employees, so it's also important for us to have something in common that we all can connect with.
Definitely.
And one example is, for instance, in Denmark. Of course, cycling is big in Denmark, but at the same time, they are very good in making activities and having events for all their employees. So the employees get to know each other through then other kind of activities. So they get to know each other also across business units.
Oh.
So that gives valuable insights and also business opportunities for Visma.
Would you say Denmark is the biggest cycling country that we're in?
Well, I think the Netherlands and Belgium are also very into cycling.
Yeah.
So those 3 countries are maybe the 3 most, but there are a lot of interested people in the other countries as well. But of course, some countries are seen as the typical cycling countries.
Yeah. Cool. Cycling is not that big in Sweden, but when the Netflix series launched, it got a lot of knowledge. Yeah. So I think it's a really good way spreading the world.
And what's really great with the Netflix series as well is that they are talking about or showing then cycling both for the ones really interested in the cycling mm-hmm. and knows the cycling, but also for the new ones that doesn't know much about cycling. So it's both, they managed to make a good series explaining the cycling and all the different aspects that people that's not into cycling don't know about.
Yeah, definitely. It's such an interesting world.
Yeah.
And I know we are helping the actual team as well, right?
Yeah, we are.
How do we do that?
We do that by, of course, the cycling team, they are also business.
Yep.
So they also need business critical software, like every other business.
Yep.
So we provide them with our software within accounting and payroll processes, within data analyze, HR operationals, digital signatures. So we are helping with a lot of our business software. But what we are really proud of is also how we are able to help the team to perform even better on the bikes, because it's all about them being the cycling team. And with the food coach app and our AI model for nutrition prediction, that is maybe a little secret for the team, but it's imagine that during a stage you burn about 6,000, maybe up to 8,000 calories per day.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, and then 3 weeks in a row during a Grand Classics, it's the Grand Tour, and 3 weeks burning up to 8,000 calories. That's enormous amount of calories. Yeah, and then it's very important for the team to then have enough nutrition to be able to perform. And previously the team predicted the nutrition manually, mostly by just based on experience and a bit of a guessing. And then they had an accuracy of 50%. But now with our AI model, they are actually able then, within a few seconds, the rider get in the food coach app what they need to intake within nutrition within a few seconds. And then the accuracy has increased then up to more than 82% based on our AI model. And that's really great to see that our competence is then also able then to help the team and then perform very well. And we can see that, as I said, especially during then the long races, that they are also then still fit at the end of the races.
Yeah, wow, that's so cool. And that, I think that describes how a partnership should look like.
Yes.
It's a give and take, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And we are also now, I can't say much about it, but we are also now working on a new exciting project. So, but what I can say is that we are an expert within software and developing software and present data in the best way for our customers so they can make their best decisions.
Yeah.
So with that little teaser, I can say that later on, and in not too much long time, we will be able to tell you more about how we are now able to help the team in an even better way to perform better.
Okay, so with that teaser, we're looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah, how cool. Yeah, and you were into it a bit, and I know there are some countries that are more into cycling than others. How do we work with that to help the countries that cycling is not that big in to get knowledge about this sponsorship?
Yeah, as you say, some of our countries are typical cycling countries, but at the same time, cycling is a typical way of doing activities or exercise. And also the team has a lot of insights and knowledge about topics that is common for both them and for Visma and other businesses, with team goals, working towards goals, diversity and things like that. So they are also helping out with having inspirational talks for our internal events or for external events. So in Finland, and Finland is not seen as a typical cycling country, but in Finland they have this inspirational talk for all their employees that they can join either online or physically. And then they will also then have a kind of an activity now in the summer where they encourage their employees to be on the bike, do some bicycle, and also register how much they've been riding. And then as part of that, they will have an inspirational talk from one of from the team Visma Lease bike. So in that way, we're also able then to connect just ordinary activities with then inspirational talks from the team.
That's awesome. Yeah. So every country should take inspire from that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
And if we have companies that wanna use this, take part of this sponsorship, how would you say they can do that the easiest way?
The easiest way is to contact me. And then I can direct them to the place because it's everything on Space, our intranet. So it's all there. We have a special page and a channel there with the Team Visma Lease Bike content. So it's a lot of opportunities there.
Super. Great. Well, I think we can talk a lot about cycling as well. But do you see any difference from when we didn't had any sponsorship with Team Visma Lease Bike, as it's mentioned right now? Have our knowledge about Visma increased since we went into the sponsorship?
Yes, it's both parts. Both, as I said, with the employer branding part. Of course, it's very important for us to have something in common, and then see how then Finland, and as an example, also in Denmark, how they are doing common activities. That's important for us. But also then going back to the brand awareness. The whole idea behind the sponsorship is to build brand awareness in both new and existing markets. And then as we are measuring it, so that's... and also when it comes to acquisition candidates, they also see the sponsorship as a positive trigger to become a part of the Visma family.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And as you know, we in Visma, we want to be perceived as champions of business software. What would you say champions of business software mean to you?
Well, our goal is to help our customer and make their work life better and more efficient. So they can focus on their core business and be best at their area. And now when we are talking about cycling and Team Visma Lease Bike, it's natural for me also then to connect it to the cycling. So for me, I would say it's helping the team behind the scenes with all the things we do to help them be the best and be then the champions of the road.
Yeah, cool. And I know you are traveling a lot, right? You're following the team all over the world.
Well, not all over the world. I'll follow them a lot on the television, but of course it's also nice to be part of some of the races, to get to know the riders and see what's happening behind the scene. So they are really, all the athletes are so down to earth, so nice, and they are very, very positive, and they also see the value of their sponsors.
Awesome. Yeah, and besides the Netflix series, I know there is another one.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, All In.
Huh?
That was launched not long ago with season 2.
Okay.
So that's, I think it's 5 episodes, yes. So that's all about the team as well.
All about Visma.
Yeah, all about the team from last season. So that's also very interesting. Because I didn't know much about cycling before we entered into the sponsorship either. No. Of course, I have a husband who's very interested in cycling, so I've learned something from him. But when you start to really look into the cycling, how they work with the team, how they're setting the goals, and how they all have different roles, etc., and how they collaborate within the team, etc. That's really interesting to get that insight and understand how it's not just about the one that wins. It's a team effort. Yeah.
I can really imagine. Wow. Yeah, I've only seen the Netflix series, but I will definitely watch the Amazon one as well.
You should do that. Yeah.
Well, it was so nice talking to you, Anne-Grethe. Thank you so much for joining Voice of Visma. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, indeed.
And thank you all of our listeners for listening to this amazing episode. I hope you're more into cycling now and will join Team Visma Lease Bike during this season. Until next time, have it the best. Thank you again, Anne-Grethe.
Thank you.